Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Councillors, good morning for our special council meeting for today. Thank you everyone for your attendance. Leave of absence and apologies. We have a leave of absence from Councillor Neil Fisher, and in attendance we have Mr. Cheeseman and Greg Bowden. So declarations of interest in matters on the agenda, councillors. I'm not sure we have any declarations there. No declarations. We might move straight into the officer's report and sponsorship. Sorry, my bad. I'll firstly start with the acknowledgement of country. I would like to acknowledge and begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians on the land in which we meet today, the Drummble people, and pay my respects to the elders past, present and emerging. I extend that respect to our neighbouring Aboriginal peoples within our local government area, the Gungaloo Nation people, the Barada, Cabelbarra, Yetamarala people, and also acknowledge the Torres Strait Islander people whose land is in the Torres Straits but who live and work on Aboriginal land. Thank you. So you might click straight into the business. Thanks, Greg. Hand over to you.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, councillors. We're back here in the chamber for another special meeting for another special event, which is fantastic. The report, when written, or we wrote this in a way, was an event in September, but as the hours and days have passed, a little bit more detail has come to hand. But as far as this resolution goes, we will have a game, a semi-final game, and it will be in September, and it is likely to be the weekend of the 11th and 12th of September. More details will be announced by the NRL hopefully today, and that will come out in the media. But as far as this goes, we are sponsoring an event for $25,000, and we will be providing ticketing services. Those ticketing services will be charged back to the Capras at cost price, so that will cover any merchant fees. It will cover any FIRV, which is the ticketing agent, any of their fees, and I've put a third disclaimer in there that any other fees that may be directly relevant to the ticketing services. So those costs will be collected prior to giving any money over to the Capras after the game. As said previously, the benefits to us for having these sorts of games, I mean, the profile being very, very a big plus. The great things for our residents as well to be able to attend these events, and I think some of us experienced that last weekend, how excited our residents were. Over the two games, we've averaged about 11% visitation outside of the 4700, 01, 02 and 03 area. We're hopeful with this that the drive market, if they get on there and get tickets, we'll be promoting to them. So part of our social media burst will go out outside of the region as well, just to make sure they get the opportunity, and if they get tickets, that stimulates obviously that economic benefit for our hotels and hospitality offerings as well. But I mean, the hospitality offering is doing very well out of these games. A lot of the venues, both restaurants and bars and pubs and clubs, are doing very well, very busy. And probably not a significant spike in retail activity that you could put your finger on, but I'm sure there would be some of that, just people getting out and about in the region. Again, the crowd will be under a COVID plan run by the Capras, and crowd will be capped at 5,000 people. How those tickets are allocated are entirely up to the Capras. Of course, they will just give us a number at the end of the day, and that is what we go on sale, and I've been very clear with them. Once they give us that number, we won't be going back on sale a second time if they have more to give, so they will have to sell those privately. This will probably happen very quickly, but we can't, as I say, we can't announce a game. For one, I don't know it, but two, that'll be done by the NRL and then passed on to us. And as far as a ticketing time frame, this time around, I think the NRL will be dictating a little bit more when they want those tickets to go on sale. So we've put a number of provisos in place to make sure if they're going to set a deadline for us, we've set some deadlines for them to make sure we can achieve it and not damage our brand along the way. There was probably one other thing that I wanted to cover off. That was ticketing.
Field signage, I think there was some problems
Yes,
with the last one.
thank you, Mayor. Yeah, as far as this goes, this game will actually have a pre-game concert, which we haven't been able to have entertainment in the past because of the COVID bubble. They didn't want anyone on the field, but they're allowing the Capras to run a pre-game concert, so it'll be like a 12 o'clock opening if it's an afternoon game, and they'd have about 2 or 3 hours of entertainment, of which we can start to brand up and help them brand that. There will be additional TV opportunities, assuming we get the game that they're speaking about, or the time frame. We should be on Channel 9 as well as Foxtel, which would open up some more opportunities for TV coverage for us. They've certainly alluded to this one being a Channel 9 game as well as a Foxtel game. So, you know, we will work. We plan for those in the first two anyway, just in case. And we sent them a lot of our what's called vignettes, which is our short clips of Rockhampton and the region as well. So we'll just rehash those and get them back and try and get them in. We also, in those first couple of games, provided them with a number of highlights of what you can do in the region for the commentators. It wasn't used widely on Foxtel, but I'm led to believe Channel 9 may use some of that. So, you know, they can't make a lot of guarantees on that, and nor can I, but, you know, we will do everything possible to get as much as we can. There will be a little bit more signage around the ground. Certainly the sideline, I've had a fairly frank conversation about last week not being on that sideline sign. It will actually cover the three of the four sidelines, if I call it that. So two sidelines and one of the end lines up on the northern end. So yeah. So, you know, there will be a little bit more coverage there. We'll also review the signage we're using around the ground and see if we can beef that up. But there is a fair bit there. And obviously I've tried to keep this at a minimal cost to us as well. And that's why I hadn't bought any new flags or anything like that. Really the money we'd spent on being on the core flute signage that had been around, and we made that fairly generic so we can reuse that at other events as well. So, and as I said, it's got our dual logos on that as well. So, yeah. So the recommendation that Rocky Regional Council approve a sponsorship of $25,000 plus provide ticketing services at cost towards a bid for an NRL match to be held in Rockhampton during September. Sorry, I'd have to read all that.
Thanks, Greg. Yeah, again, that difference in this game is that it's a semi-final game, the 4 o'clock time slot, and there's a half an hour lead-in on that free-to-air viewing, and normally the town, a bit like the one last night in Mackay, they got a fair run on that as they lead into that game. So I think there's opportunity there. We can provide some information to them to take a best advantage of that being free to air. Greg, were you able to get an idea on the coverage with free to air? What type of?
I couldn't. NRL didn't answer my question at this stage,
right,
Mayor. So no.
It's significant anyway. I know that there's a wide
I will
viewer audience in that.
I'll ask the question again today. Don't worry.
No, that's all right. It's okay. I've got a couple of lights on at the table, so I'll go to those first and then see if there's any online. Councillor Wickerson, then Councillor Mathers. Councillor Wickerson.
Yep, thanks, Mr Mayor, and thanks for your report, Greg. Absolutely support this. It'll put us on the radar with other opportunities with NRL and beyond. But just a few questions. This one, I noticed bids presented by Queensland Capras. Is that the same as the previous two? I thought it was the trust that put it on it, and can we say why?
Councillor, because what we did last time, again, because it moved so quickly that last time, we actually included all three so that we covered ourselves in that last one, whereas after that we worked out who was signing the agreement, ended up being the Capras. So we sponsored and put all three there, but in the end the money went to the Capras anyway, as it will this time. So officially that's who signed the agreement. So this time I was able just to narrow that down because I know who's signing the agreement, whereas last time I didn't know.
Yep, no, understood. And you answered one of them, I guess, in part about the other sponsorship opportunities with the Live to Air. We've got a range of great Explore Rockhampton full commercials. Is an opportunity for that, or is that something we've got to pay more
Yeah,
for. That's not
that-
included in the deal?
Councillor, that's certainly a paid deal, and we can price that up and see what that looks like for us as well. The vignettes is really the opportunity where we might actually be able to get some coverage throughout the football as
Front row
such.
house sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
that's right. So probably more people watching that as well, to be honest with you. So yeah.
Yeah, no, very good.
Yeah.
And the last couple are probably COVID-related. Everyone's sort of, thinking about that at the moment with, truck drivers and whatever. The bubble that the NRL work in, is there, or are all safeguards being put in place so there's no interchange between, say, local players or spectators or officials and the travelling teams? Is there
Yeah, I mean, the Capras and
quarantine.
CQ Rugby League, Councillor Wickerson, they have this COVID bubble under control. We don't have a lot of control over that, but watching how they've done it in the past 2 games, certainly there's no interaction with the players. The boots get thrown over to the fans, which is a great thing as well, and other things, which was fantastic. And even the press conferences, there's a lot of security around that. They come up the stairs, and you can't go near them, and sort of they're barricaded away from people. So yeah, but that's purely driven by CQ Rugby League and the Capras, that one.
Yeah, okay. And probably the final one is that in the event that there is a total lockdown and the game can't proceed, do we get a refund?
Yes, correct. There's no payment. Payment is on successful delivery of the game and obviously the other commitments in the contract in way of signage and things like that. So,
Yeah, okay, excellent. Thank you very much.
yeah.
Thanks, Councillor Wickerson. Councillor Mathers?
Thanks very much, Mr Mayor. Through you to Greg. Councillor Wickerson covered most of my questions, actually, so which is very good. No, that's no problem whatsoever. So I can make it very simple. Greg, I just wanted to confirm that obviously you're saying that we're reusing a lot of the signage and that type of thing that's there, and I would imagine most of the marketing we're doing will be social media, so there's no real cost involved for our marketing for this event, or all the costs that are there will still be going against AR's marketing budget?
Correct. So we'll consume labour costs within our current budgets, no matter whether. So councillors may not be aware that we have a working group of about 10, and on the day of ticket sales we have a working group of about 20. So all those costs are consumed by us as part of that, but those have been very short-lived things as well. As far as marketing costs, they'll be consumed in the Advanced Rockhampton budget. So we've consumed a lot of that already, producing the signage that we did produce. Any additional stuff we decide to do this time around will obviously be borne by our AR tourism budget as well, and marketing.
Fantastic, thanks very much for that. And Mr Mayor, I'd also just like to say that obviously, with the events and that type of thing, I'm very mindful of the budget that we're working with. But, if we look at the amount of money we're talking about for such a high-profile event, I don't think we could get bang for buck the amount of marketing and advertising we're going to get nationally, and hopefully if we go free to air, the $25,000, we couldn't do any advertising campaign that would even touch that. So I think this is very good business sense, and I think with the great work that AR team do and presenting a professional product, I'm very keen to support this. So thanks for bringing it to the table.
Thanks, Councillor Mathers. Yeah, you're right. It's once in a lifetime opportunity to get that type of coverage for that expense, that outlay, and it's again once in a lifetime opportunity to get a semi-final game played in our own backyard. So I think that's again being nimble and being able to bring those reports to the council table and address that. I think overall for the 2 games we've already had plus this one. It really has put Rocky on the radar as far as NRL goes, and we're quite thankful that we've had this opportunity, be it through COVID, that it's arisen. So, but anyway, it's a great outcome. Councillors, any questions online there? I know we've got quite a few out there. I think.
Video's not working. So.
Yeah, no, she said I'd asked her just to speak up if there was something there, but when we come to the vote, she'll say the yay or nay if that's the case. Councillor, if there's no further questions there to Greg or the officers, I'll seek a mover and a seconder with regards to that. I'm happy to move and seek a seconder. Councillor Mathers. Oh, hang on. Did you want to question Councillor Latcham? No. I'll put that. Those in favour?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion's carried unanimously. Thanks, Councillor Kirkland. I do appreciate that input and the struggle you got with your IT at the moment. But councillors, that's great result, and I think that's one for the city and the region that we can really hang our hats on. It's going to be a great outcome for that outlay. There being no more items, councillors, we'll declare the meeting closed, and thank everyone for your attendance. Thank you.
The ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. go adventure in the deep blue sea.